And it doesn't have to be a scary woo, with the crystal ball and all the dark lights and all that.
TV does that.
Right? Hey folks, welcome to The Gifted Ones. I'm your host, Liz Throb, and today we have an awesome guest with us. How many of you have a deck of tarot cards sitting in a drawer somewhere collecting dust? I bet you the majority of you do, because if you're watching this show, you likely have a deck. Now, today we're going to learn what to do with them, how to use them, what they're about. And without further ado, let me introduce you to our next guest. Susan Winning is a psychic medium. She delivers her messages from spirit with love, healing, and humor. And she's very funny, I have to say. I've worked with you many times. Susan trained at Fellowships of the Spirit in Lilydale, New York. She has enjoyed delivering messages through tarot cards for over 25 years and teaches a very popular course here in Niagara that helps empower others how to use tarot. Susan has also trained with UK's medium Philip Dykes, learning to hone her craft of platform mediumship, as well as training with many prominent psychic mediums here in Niagara. Susan has also studied for 3 years under Andrew Byng with Sitting in the Power of Spirit. She is a certified deep trance channeler, and her business partner, Louise Michaud, founded Soul's Sisters, a monthly meditation circle group held on the second Wednesday of every month, providing those in attendance with platform mediumship, messages, meditation, and a sense of community. Such a great thing that you do there. They also host 2 psychic and wellness events each year at Heartland Forest in the Niagara Falls area. And the next one is taking place on September 21st, where those in attendance can connect with loved ones on the other side and gain access to leading-edge New Age products. We will share the details on that at the end of this event, but right now, let's get into the interview. Susan, welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me, Liz.
It's my pleasure. I'm so excited because, like I mentioned, she's hysterical. She likes to snort, apparently.
Yes. Don't get me started, please.
So Susan is going to talk about, today you're going to talk about tarot cards. Mm-hmm. And they're an interesting thing. These are divination tools, right? That we as psychics can use to help us. But what exactly, can you explain what you see them as?
The tarot cards to me are a deck of 78 cards. You've got your majors, which are a journey of the person in the tarot cards that goes through all life's karma and spiritual lessons.
Right.
All right. You have the court cards, which are all the cards that are people in his path and what they mean to him. We also have the minors, which are the tidbits and the filling up of the stories in between.
Right.
With the tarot, they don't tell the future.
Right.
The tarot right now, it tells you what you need to know at the time of the reading and what you need to correct in your life and some guidance on how to do that.
I totally agree with you, 100%. I never felt that they were something that would actually bring us information about the future. I think they were like a tool. That's how I always use them. Mm-hmm. So I use tarot and angel cards when I do readings.
Yes.
When I'm doing like long distance or in front of somebody readings. When I'm doing it like on stage or whatever, obviously we don't use our cards. So it's obviously the source is coming from us, right?
Exactly.
But the cards are, I always liken them to like a hammer for a carpenter. Yeah, it just makes your job easier than finding a block and hitting the nail in, right?
Exactly.
So cool. Okay. How long did it take you to learn how to use them?
Oh my goodness, I've been dabbling with the tarot since I was about 16.
Yeah.
My first course I took from a lady in Beamsville. Her name was Bev Haskins.
Okay.
And she's since crossed, but actually, and then I picked them up. And what really got me into them again is when my dad crossed over, I took my mediumship and started my mediumship. And I wasn't comfortable just doing that. So then I picked up my tarot from my drawer, like everybody has them.
Yeah.
Right? And started doing them and reading them for people. And then every time now I do a reading, it all downloads with spirit.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
it doesn't take long to learn to read them that way.
Right. Yeah.
Because you have to trust in spirit.
Exactly. I often find now that, like, I take a glance at them, I put them up, and one of the things that, they all come with a little booklet, right?
Yes.
That gives you the breakdown of everything.
Yes.
I personally don't follow. You don't either? Okay,
No, I don't follow the book. No.
I don't either.
Because that means that card is rigid for every single person
Yes.
you read for.
Exactly.
Where if you trust your intuition, that card, it could be the Fool. It could mean 10 different things to 10 different people.
Exactly.
Yes,
so
no, throw away the book.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I wouldn't say throw away the book.
Okay.
I would say read the book, get a handle of what they're giving you for the card, right? Would you not agree?
Yeah, and then put your own
And then
interpretation.
just throw it away then.
Yes.
Throw it away. Get rid
Yes.
of it. Yeah, no, that's so cool because I'm the exact same way. And, it's something that a lot of people find so difficult to learn. I hear that a lot. People say, I've tried to learn tarot, and
Yes.
I'm like, so what would your first bit of advice be about what's the quickest way to learn it?
Quickest way to learn is just use your intuition. Don't try to memorize each card. And the average person tries to memorize each card.
Yeah.
Where if you just turn a card over, look at it, and just the first thing that comes to you, that's the way you should read your tarot.
100%. So I always look at, little things will jump out at me, especially in the beginning, right?
Yes.
Like little colors or a symbol or something will jump out at me, and then it will resonate within my third eye. Like you said, using your intuition, and the next thing you know, you're able to just read it effortlessly. But yes, people become very rigid, and I'm not somebody who can retain a memory. Like I have a terrible, terrible memory. So memorizing stuff is not a good deal for me. So I remember putting those cards on the back burner a lot. And then finally somebody said, you don't have to memorize, you just need to do it. And I'm
Exactly.
like, it's amazing. Okay, so
Exactly.
that's very cool. So anyone can use them, and would you say that they have to have a spiritual connection or be a psychic or one of the gifted ones?
No.
No.
Anybody
Perfect.
can read tarot.
Right.
Anybody can read tarot. All you have to do is trust what you hear or trust what you see in the cards. And there's a lot of different beliefs in the tarot. I met a lady when I was taking the course for Philip Dykes, and I said, "Oh, I read tarot." And she goes, "You do?" And I said, "Yeah." And she went through a long list of rituals.
Yes.
That you have to follow to read tarot.
Yes.
Well, sorry, not me.
No, me either.
I just read it like it is.
Yeah, I just shuffle and stick them out there.
Yeah.
I actually have the client shuffle them.
Yes.
Because it just makes it easier. It makes my job easier. Because
Yes.
they're really big, stupid cards, right? And, like they're impossible to do. But I find that people do have rules, set rules.
Yes.
Like you have to follow either a certain spread, and that was one of the things. Do you have a specific spread that you use?
I use 7 cards.
Okay.
When I do my reading, that's 7 cards, and that's 7 things that the spirit or the universe wants that person to know at this particular time that they have to correct in their life.
I love that.
I don't like the Celtic because you're stuck with what that card means for the position of the
Yes.
card.
Yes.
No, I just read 7 straight cards.
I love it. So, and that's something you've sort of invented on your own? Yep. See, and I've done the exact same thing. I knew I loved you. I knew it. I've done the exact same thing. I created my own spread.
Yes.
Because the ones that they had, traditional spreads, they didn't work for me. And that's one of the things I really hope this show brings to the table for people.
Yes.
Maybe not just this specific show, but all of the shows. It shows us that you don't have to follow the rules. You can bend the rules if it suits you.
Yeah. There is no right or wrong with tarot.
I love it. Perfect. Now, what are the differences between tarot cards and, say, angel cards? What would the difference be?
Tarot cards are like a novel by Stephen King.
Right.
Okay? It tells you
that analogy.
everything. It tells you all the nitty gritty. It tells you what you need to know. And angel cards are like a Harlequin romance.
I love that analogy.
They're fluff.
Yeah.
But the angel cards are very good for if you want guidance every day. Pull an angel card.
Yes.
I also do if you're doing a show and you've gone too fast, you pull an angel card to help them get over what they're worrying about or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, angel cards to me are just a little sidekick.
Yeah, that makes sense. I love working with angel cards. I always felt that tarot has a sort of scarier look to it for people. Like when you pull that death card or the devil card, it freaks people right out. They're like, what does that mean?
Yeah, it does.
And it just puts the fear into them right now. So I started to pull the angel cards as it's such pretty and, relaxing looking cards. And I always explain to people when I'm doing tarot, when certain cards jump up and they got that deer in the headlights look, like, what does that mean, Liz? It doesn't mean what it says.
No,
it doesn't mean, right?
No.
So like they get the death card, it doesn't mean they're dying tomorrow.
And as soon as you turn over the death card, like, you're right, the people panic, right?
Yeah.
But you say, no, it just means a new beginning.
Yep, exactly. So can we show our viewers a couple of things that they could do to get started if they have a deck and they've pulled it out already? What would be some easy things that they could do right off the bat? Say they wanted to. Well, I'll let you go ahead. You show me what you want.
These are my tarot. They're the spiral deck.
Right.
As you can see, they're very dirty. I don't know if you can wash tarot. Can you wash the cards?
You know what I do? I use that. What's that gel that you wash your hands with?
The sanitizer.
Yeah, and I just put it on a tissue and I wipe them off. But I do it, and I'm going to be honest here, only probably maybe once a year. But I'm afraid that I'm going to wear them out too much because mine are like yours. They're really tired looking. But to me, that means they're well used, right? But yeah, that's the only thing I've ever used to sanitize. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So I'll give them a shuffle. Okay. And we'll let you pick 3 cards.
Oh, goody for me. Okay. I'll take that one. That one's yelling at me. And that one. Okay.
Now, when I do a reading, I also do the bottom card as a message from the universe.
Okay.
So there's a young...
I have actually pulled 4 cards.
That's okay.
Okay.
To kill you. This is telling me, do you have a young lad in your life that's got a little bit of a temper and he's on on edge?
Well, my grandson, not like I wouldn't say he has a temper. He's got frustration.
Okay, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
They're just saying that he's going to be great. He's going to be fine, right? But he is the type of person that if he's your friend, he will stand by you, have your back constantly. He's going to be loyal to anybody he befriends.
I can totally see that in him.
Yeah, and he would also have been. I'm dating myself, but he would have also been good in the when we protested about the Vietnam War because he would totally believe in that.
Yeah,
and he would stand behind it and fight for it 100%.
Oh, I can totally see that.
Okay, your cards are the Ace of Cups, 10 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, and you got the Ace of Wands also. The Ace of Cups is telling me because you've started on this new adventure that the universe is giving you total success.
Yay!
You don't even have to worry about it. You don't even have to think about it. Just go with the flow.
Okay.
All right?
I'm in.
But there are some things that are bothering you, and you've got a lot of burdens on your back. You've got maybe too much to go on, like too many things on the go.
Perhaps.
Right? And you sometimes when you get all into this, you sort of block yourself and you run into walls, right? So all I'm asking you to do is to take one of those burdens and get rid of it.
Okay.
Okay? And then when you stand up, all those sticks will fall away and life would be a lot easier.
That makes sense.
Okay?
Yeah.
You're also in the spotlight for something you are going to do. Normally, if this is I would add more cards to get more information into it.
Yeah.
But right now, you're going to be in the spotlight. All right? You are going to make a lot of money, more money than what you're doing.
Well, I will take that all day long.
And you're going to be rewarded for a job well done.
Yay,
put it that way. And
okay.
we talked about that.
Okay.
And also, you are very fortunate and a very gifted and spiritual person, that God sometimes comes down and gives you a little zinger once in a while to keep you on the momentum and on the going.
That makes sense.
This is one of my better cards to get.
Okay.
And as you can see, it's very empowering, very special.
Yeah.
And that's what that is.
Oh, that's so fun. So, the folks at home would pull, so I pulled 4. I cheated a little bit.
That's okay.
Okay, thank you. They would pull the 3 cards and then just look at the card and just, what is the first thing coming to your mind?
Exactly. Sometimes one thing that helps them, because when the average person looks at the card, they're going to overthink.
Yeah.
And overthink.
100%.
Yeah, okay, what do I see, blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff, right? What I like them to do if they really want to learn tarot is look at the card for 2 seconds, turn it back over, and write down what you felt, what you saw, and that type of thing, and then look at the card again, then look at it.
Yeah.
Because that first impression is going to stick with you most of the time you do your reading.
100%. This is exactly how I was taught to do it as well. And I love that you do it the same way. Because everybody teaches it differently, right?
Yes,
there are some
they
people
do.
that are very traditional.
Extremely.
And you have to follow every rule in the book. And that's okay,
Yeah,
right?
if that's your cup of tea.
That's right. If that's your cup of tea, that's okay. But I don't think that you're going to get a wrong reading either way. I think, you know, it depends on how you are as a person. If you need to memorize, then you go right ahead and do that.
Yes.
But to me, I think it puts a lot of people off what could be a fun thing to play with.
Exactly. And
right?
when I do my readings, I like to have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And I bring the fun in. And if you have a person that comes to your house for a reading or comes to you for a reading, they're in desperate need of information.
Yeah.
And their energy is low, their aura is very tight to their body. And if you put an upbeat and happiness and a sense of fun and excitement in the card, because they're sitting there waiting thinking they're going to get doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I like to read on the happier side.
Yeah.
Because then the people that are down when they come leave very, very positive and are actually sitting upright by the end of the reading.
I made a pact with my guides when I decided to go public and do this work for working with the public, that I was only going to do it if they would support the people that were coming to see me in helping them get further ahead in their life.
Yes.
I didn't want to be a dog and pony show. I didn't want to be, somebody that goes on TV and predicts stuff. That's ego to me, and I don't need to do that. I know that I can do that. I don't need to do that. But I needed to make sure that anybody that I was talking to got the message and it empowered their life.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And so you're following the same path as me, and it doesn't have to be a scary woo, with the crystal ball and all the dark lights and all that.
TV does that.
Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
TV does that and movies do that.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
Tarot's
true.
not scary at all.
No, it's really
No.
not. It's lovely, actually. Okay, so thank you for showing us. Historically, these tools have been used for hundreds of years. Do you have any idea how long they've been out for?
I think they've been around since the 1440s.
Wow.
In Milan and all in Europe and Italy.
Yeah.
In the Rider-Waite, when you get it, you get a little card inside. And it's a story about the lady who drew the cards.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And she drew the cards, and she ended up meeting Arthur Waite from the Rider-Waite. And it eventually went that she died in 1951, poor and penniless, because nobody ever patented her drawings.
Oh my
It's really a sad story, but she is the Pamela Smith is the actual drawer of the artist.
That's what
for
I use. I use Rider-Waite.
The Rider-Waite, yes.
Yeah, I love them. I've tried different decks of cards, and I always come back to that same deck.
Yes. Did you learn with the Rider-Waite?
I did.
Yeah. You always come back to the cards you learn with.
Yeah, I suppose,
Yes.
right? That makes
Yes.
sense. Yeah. Oh, that's such a sad story.
It is because she's, and how many people use the cards now?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
She'd be a multimillionaire.
Wow. Or her family at least would be getting royalties,
Yes.
right? Wow. So I guess, you teach a really popular course that we should talk about, because
Yes.
I hear people, when I go around the city and do my thing, I hear from people who say, oh, I saw a really, really good psychic, or I took a really cool tarot course, and I'm like, oh yeah, who's that? Because we always ask, right? Who was
Yes.
that? And they're like, Susan Winning. And I'm like, yes,
Oh my God.
I know Susan. She's amazing. So
Thank you.
your course is kind of renowned. And, why don't you share with the folks here what it's about?
My tarot is, I want to have other people enjoy the same thing I do. So it's an 8-week course.
Yes.
2 hours a night, once a week.
Okay.
When you do that, you learn the proper meanings intuitively of the majors, the minors, and the court cards, right? And also in the course, you also learn psychometry, the divining rods.
Can you explain to folks what psychometry is?
Psychometry is the holding of an object, and you get the vibration of the object. Because if, like for instance, this is my dad's ring.
Right.
My dad's energy will never leave that ring.
Of course
So
it won't,
if
right.
I give that ring to someone, they'll be able to feel it and feel my dad's energy, and therefore tell me about him.
Beautiful.
That's what psychometry teaches,
Okay.
right? I also do a pendulum, which is like a yes and no, and answering questions by going in the direction that you ask it to go.
Okay. So just explain to the folks at home that maybe don't know what a pendulum is. Just tell them.
Pendulum is a quartz on a long piece of chain, and you hold it very steady above something
Right.
or a picture, and you ask questions, and the pendulum will either turn counterclockwise or whatever that you ask it to
Right.
do. You have
So-
to put your energy in and train the pendulum.
Right. So you would say, like, is my name Liz? And if it goes around in a circle, I know that's yes. And
Yes.
is my name Mickey Mouse? It'll go.
Yes.
I've used that analogy twice now. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Please don't anybody call me Mickey Mouse. But yeah, that's how you would get your yes and no answer,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
those are fun to play with because I think they operate on our energy.
Yes.
They're very connected with the quartz, obviously. We're all like sort of addicted to gems
Crystals.
and crystals.
Yeah.
Kind of like I need an intervention over here. So yeah, they hold a lot of property and power. So that's really cool. And what else do you teach?
We have the divining rods.
Okay, explain that.
Okay, divining rods I make myself. They're made out of electrified copper wire.
Oh, neat.
I get them. I follow the gentleman around from the hydro trucks, and if they're taking down wire, I'll ask for it, because that means the electricity has actually gone through the copper and
Okay.
it's being alive, right? And they are very sensitive. You hold them and you ask yes and no.
Okay.
So if you ask yes, the rods will go this way sometimes, no that way. Sometimes they'll cross or open up totally.
Yeah.
They are also a way of getting a yes and no answer.
Okay. Now, I know people, my husband, he works for the city in the water department. And so he has had to use divining rods, and he just does it. Like, he doesn't think anything strange
they
of
use
it.
it
And I'm
for
like,
water
that's really
and
cool.
pipes and everything,
And so
yeah.
he knows
Yeah.
how to find them if it's not on the city map.
Yes.
He can find things like, and I'm like, that's great that you do that, and you don't even see it as being weird,
No.
right? Like, people often will go like, what is that?
Yeah,
But that's really cool.
exactly.
Yeah. So, but you can get your yes and no from that. Now, I've never thought to do that with divining rods. So how do you do that?
If someone asks a question, if a young girl comes to me and says, and her gentleman friend is in the reading that she wants to meet,
Right.
correct? Well, I'll say, well, do you want more about it if you're good at asking yes and no? So I'll hold my rods and she'll say, well, when I meet him in the summer, yes. Will he be the man I'm marrying? No. Just to fine tune the reading a little bit.
Okay. Well, that's interesting, and that sounds fun.
Yeah,
That
it's
sounds
always fun.
Exactly. It's always fun. Well, as I mentioned in your bio, you and Louise Michaud hold not only a meditation circle every second Wednesday of the month.
Correct.
And that's held where?
It's at the Dunlop Community Centre on 80 Dunlop Drive in St. Catharines.
Okay, and this is like anybody can come
Anyone
and enjoy.
And please, if you do come, we like to meet new people.
I
So
love that.
just come and introduce yourself, and you'll meet so many nice, like-minded friends.
Awesome. And it's just such a great sense of community for people looking to experience that. And now the other thing that you do that I love this show. Your show is amazing. Is a wellness and psychic fair that you host. Now, why don't you explain to folks where that is?
What it is we have the building at Heartland Forest, which is so full of energy, and you just walk in and you can feel the vibration. It's just an amazing
that's
building.
in Niagara Falls for anybody watching.
Off of Browns Road.
Okay.
And what we do is we have we have about 36 psychics and mediums. We have hands-on healing. We have a lady that sells organic honey. We have a gentleman that makes organic face cream, which is fantastic, by the way. And it's just a nice place. We have it catered by the...
There's like tons of things that you can purchase at this event.
Yes.
I did, I think your first...
You did your first one. First one, yes.
And then I stopped doing shows. Like no disrespect to anybody, but I just couldn't do the shows anymore. They're draining me. So I probably will step back into that eventually, but for the time being, I haven't done any more. But this show is such a beautiful community, like-minded souls, and you're gonna get what you're going for. You may not know what you're going for, but you're gonna get it when you get there.
Yes,
right.
It's very. People say to us, "Oh my goodness, I just love the energy here."
Yeah, so true. It is. It's gorgeous energy there. So, but it's you guys do an amazing drum circle and everything. Like it's so
we have
fun.
Al and Drew do that for us.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, it's been really great chatting with you, Susan.
Thank you very much for having me.
This has been very insightful, and thank you for the mini read there. I'm excited about my grandson and the more money coming in my direction. I'll take that all day long. Thank you. It has been a pleasure connecting with you today.
Thank you very much, Liz.
Thank you. Remember, folks, if you've got that deck sitting in a corner or sitting in a drawer somewhere collecting dust, it's doing you no good there. Get it out. Have some fun. Play. Enjoy. Learn to really, investigate what all that stuff means in the cards. And you too will be able to foresee the future. Have a great day, folks, and we'll see you on the next Gifted Ones.